$1 mailbox.
You got to figure that the postal inspectors were, they were schooled on what to look for. Everybody knew what his handwriting looked like.
Right.
Yeah. I just want to know which letter it was.
But what a perfect spot. There's a police station right there. You can see the cop cars, the blue meanies. And then, kitties right here on the
Yeah,
playground.
I live 4 blocks from here, and I walk my dog with me past this time.
Really? You didn't know?
I live
You didn't
4
know?
blocks from here. Yeah, I never knew.
You live 4 blocks that way?
Yeah, I'm at 27th Ave.
Did you ever go to that comic book store down here? Amazing Adventures? That's where I get a bunch of, well, they went out of business, but I used to get all the counterculture newspapers there. So he must have just walked up here. He probably would have been nervous. So it's pretty cool that they were able to. What was that?
Nobody would have been watching.
No.
No fear.
No, but I mean, just what a great time, to do that. The other mailbox is it's at Lombard and Van Ness. I don't think we'll have time to hit that one. It's on the east side. It's right outside of what used to be a hobby shop. I think they went out of business a few years ago. Lombard and Van Ness.
It wasn't a hobby shop with me.
It was. It was an old school train store, hobby store.
Exacto knives.
Yeah, all that stuff. And for some reason he chose that particular mailbox. So these are the only two that I'm aware of.
This hobby shop.
Yeah.
I would hope that they would have get that.
And wherever was dropped off in Eureka.
Yes, the Eureka letter. You definitely won't be able to make it to Eureka today. Touch the mailbox, you know you want it. Come on. Touch the mailbox. There you go.
All hail the mailbox.
So this must have been dusted before this, I would think. I would think they would have come through and just sealed the whole thing. But a lot of the stuff that you would think would have happened wasn't. They didn't do it. They did not do it.
But by the time they found out he'd mailed it from here, wasn't it, weeks?
Oh no, it would have been when they collect the mail here, they store it here.
Oh.
So apparently when the postal worker was taking the mail out, he probably saw the double postage, no return address. The postal workers would have been trained to,
alerted?
Yeah, they got all the memos. Here's what to look for, because you want to handle it as little as possible. It's a crime. His letters were actual federal offenses.
Yeah, but
they were considered coercion.
Oh yeah, and they still are, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I actually interviewed John Shimoda, who was the postal. He ran the what was his title? I can't remember John Shimoda's title. I interviewed John Shimoda probably 3 years ago, and he was the chief investigator for the postal service. And he said that he was unaware. He was 95 years old, so he probably forgot. But he said he was unaware that they had determined which post, which mailbox Zodiac had used. But he was very old. Probably didn't remember which bowl of food goes in. So you got to take some of the stuff these old.
But the mailmen were actually trained to watch for Zodiac letters?
Yeah, keep an eye on it. Yeah, because you want to. Because after Zodiac dropped it in here, the postal worker would have been the next one to touch it.
Yeah.
So if you can identify it without another person touching it, then the only fingerprints on there are probably going to be his.
Yeah.
Because once it goes to the mail place,
I wouldn't think they'd have been alerted to that, but I first I heard of it. Wow.
Well, maybe they weren't told to look for it, but it's on the news all the time. It's very unique, double postage, no return address, maybe blood on it, maybe the funky writing, rush to editor.
Yeah.
They watch the news too, so.
They may have been alerted to it.
Yeah, especially in such close proximity, to the police. Although it wasn't the police that investigated. If it was recovered by a postal worker, then it would have been the postal. They have an investigative branch altogether, and they have their own documents. That was Shimoda was the documents. Crew cut? Does he have a crew cut? Well, let's go by the police station.
And then hit that.
Right.
We're on time.
If he had a crew cut, he's right age.